Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 19, Bronson Andrus. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 21.
And welcome to a beautiful sunny day here at Brycehurst Ballpark here in St. George as our Spanish Fork Dons are taking on the Desert Hills Thunder on SF-17 this afternoon. I'm Elliot Sharps here with Andrew LaRose. And Andrew, what do you expect to see in this one?
Oh man, this is going to be a really good game here, Elliot. The Thunder have their ace on the mound in Drew Thorpe, and we, the Spanish Fork Dons, are countering with Mason Nielsen. As you see him warming up there at the mound, Mason Nielsen pitching because we've got Cy Nielsen and Ty Sorensen both pitched in the games yesterday and are unavailable today, and so we have his brother, Mason Nielsen there up at the mound. We're hoping for a good game from him and be able to hopefully then advance on to the next game today.
Yeah, because of the pitch count limits, both Ty Sorensen and Cy Nielsen will be unable to pitch until if they are able to advance to Saturday. The Dons winning both games yesterday in elimination, as they've now won 3 consecutive elimination games after falling to the Pineview Panthers 11-1 in the opener, and they will have another one today here at 1:30. And if they can advance again tomorrow night, only 6 teams remain in this tournament, and the Desert Hills Thunder are a definite big one.
Yeah, this is definitely a hard opponent here. Actually, both opponents that the Spanish Fork Dons will be facing today will be really top teams in the state, and so to be able to make it into the Final Four here and survive through the day is going to be a tough one, Elliot.
And the first pitch is fouled back to the junior center fielder, Bo Barbin, who will be leading off for the Thunder today. As we mentioned, on the mound is Mason Nielsen. Nielsen has a 2.08 ERA on the season, 2-1 over 8 appearances, 30 1/3 innings pitched, 9 earned runs and 18 total runs allowed, as that pitch is outside to bring the count even at 1-1 now. Barbin, the batter at the plate for the Thunder. As that pitch is low, bringing the count to 2-1 on Barbin.
Barbin, a good hitter here in this Thunder lineup, batting .360 on the season, so definitely a good table setter.
As that pitch is up, as Nielsen falls behind 3-1 here.
And Barbin has worked himself into a nice hitter's count, doing his job as leadoff man, making Nielsen work here in the first at bat.
And a pitch is swung on and missed and lined over to the first baseman, Dylan Lee, for the first out of the inning here. In the top of the first, we'd like to take a moment to run through the defensive alignment for the Spanish Fork Dons today. From left to right in the outfield, Carson Chappell, Riley Hess, and Cy Nielsen over there in right. Tay Newman at third, Andrew Pintar at short, Dylan Hall at second, and Dylan Lee at first. They're making the nice play. Josh Cowden behind the plate, and as we mentioned a moment ago, Mason Nielsen on the mound. And a first pitch fouled back to the senior shortstop, Trey Allred.
To the concession stands. Thank you.
And Allred takes a fastball in the outside corner, bringing the count to 0-2 now. Nice job by Nielsen working ahead in the count here.
Absolutely, definitely staying ahead of the sticks here in this particular bat to Allred.
And that pitch is just fouled off the bat of Allred to keep this at bat alive.
Yeah, Allred just getting just enough of it to be able to stay alive in this one.
Allred leads this team in batting average on the season, which is impressive, with a .406 average.
Yeah, the Teddy Williams.
And he fouls it off to the right side, keeping the count at 0-2.
Allred definitely a key bat in this Thunder lineup, as you've been talking about. .406 average, another guy that they definitely depend on to get on base for their big hitters in the lineup.
And the fastball outside brings the count to 1-2. Allred on the year has 26 hits and 5 RBIs, but he has scored 20 runs, getting on base and allowing the big bats to bring him in as he swings and misses on the breaking ball for a quick second out here in the top of the first.
Man, what a beautiful pitch there by Mason Nielsen. Had been pumping him a nice steady stream of fastballs there to start off the at bat, and there he brings in that nice breaking ball like you were talking about, gets him to swing out in front. And man, that's exactly what they need from Nielsen in this game, just these nice, good, efficient, quick outs.
And a pitch low and inside for ball 1 to the most dangerous hitter on this Thunder's lineup, the sophomore Drew Thorpe.
Drew Thorpe, man, this kid is impressive, and he's only a sophomore.
And the breaking ball drops in there, bringing the count even at 1-1 now. Yeah, Thorpe definitely the big bat in this lineup and someone you have to be very careful with, as he has done a lot of damage to pitchers over the year, as that pitch is just low, bringing the count to 2-1 on Thorpe.
Yeah, Thorpe is a 400 hitter, as you were talking about, Elliot. So definitely another one of those guys that knows how to put the bat on the ball. 26 hits on the season as well.
And a swing and a miss will bring the count even at 2-2. Thorpe also brings a little bit of power with 1 homer and 3 doubles on the year. 12 RBIs, so
a little bit of pop there.
And a strike 3 called, and that is a quick 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the first. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mason Nielsen, and a really impressive start for the Dons here in the top of the first.
Exactly what they needed. They needed just that goose egg here to kind of get the confidence going, get it rolling. A nice outing here so far by Nielsen.
And as we head now to the bottom of the first, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's game: the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, Sporting Goods for all seasons, and Two Jacks Pizza. And as the Dons head out to bat now for the first time this game, we'll take a moment to go through the starting lineup for the Dons. Leading off for the Dons today is the junior third baseman Tay Newman. Andrew Pintar will bat second, and the senior catcher Josh Cowden will bat third. Batting in the cleanup spot will be Cy Nielsen, the right fielder. Dylan Lee will bat fifth, and the other Dylan Hall will bat sixth. Batting seventh, the DH Josh Dart, and then a couple seniors to round out the lineup with Carson Chappell out in left and Riley Hess in center, batting ninth. And they will have a tough task today, as they will be facing the aforementioned sophomore Drew Thorpe, who just struck out at the plate, but also a force to be reckoned with out on the mound.
Absolutely. He may have just struck out at the plate, but man, he definitely strikes out a ton of people over on the mound as well. He has 69 strikeouts on the season, so certainly this is the Desert Hills Thunder's ace. This is their guy. This is the guy that if they need a win, he's the one on the mound. He's 7-1 on the season. Really only been one loss so far, 1.31 ERA in 48 innings pitched. So this is a guy that, man, they've got to be careful up there. The Dons are going to be having their hands full against Thorpe in this one.
Yeah, good start by the defense in the top of the first. Now the bats will have to go to work as Tay Newman steps into the box, and he rips that ball out to left field, and that will be a leadoff single for Tay Newman. Just the start the Dons wanted here in the bottom half.
Man, what a nice rip there by Newman, able to get a good first pitch there. Wasn't going to mess around, just go ahead and go right for it. And so that one drops into left field, and that is the leadoff hitter there for the Dons, getting things started.
Yeah, Drew Thorpe trying to sneak a strike across on that first pitch of the game, and Tay Newman was having none of it. Swinging on the fastball and driving it out to left for the base hit, as the junior shortstop Andrew Pintar now steps up to the plate. And that pitch is well inside, bringing the count to 1-0 as Pintar squares around to bunt and pulls back there.
Yeah, not only pulling back because it was a ball, but pulling back because it was about to get him. I mean, that is one way to get on base, but it's certainly not a comfortable way to get on base. Imagine that they'll keep the bunt on.
And he lays down the bunt. Thorpe fields it and makes the play over at first, but a successful sack off the bat of Pintar, as Newman is able to move over to second here with one man out.
Once again, they know that runs are going to be at a premium here against Thorpe, so Pintar is able to lay down a nice one, is able to advance Newman on over to second, so now they've got runner in scoring position here for their big catcher, Josh Cowden.
Yeah, the senior Cowden had a nice day yesterday. 2 home runs in the first game against the Skyview Bobcats. Also had a few nice hits in the second game yesterday afternoon as well. And a first pitch strike to Cowden.
Definitely a nice pitch there for Thorpe, getting ahead of the big dangerous hitter in the Dons lineup. But we'll see what Cowden's able to do here now that he's seen a pitch. Maybe hopefully he's able to dig in and get a little more comfortable in this at bat.
And another swing and a miss off the breaking ball brings the count to 0-2 on Cowden. Cowden, a 400 hitter on the season, 7 home runs, 4 triples, and 5 doubles. So lots of extra base power here, and a base hit will drive in that run.
This is the guy you want in this situation.
And Cowden calls time at the last minute there as he felt that the pitcher Drew Thorpe was taking a little bit too long on the mound.
That close, man. He just barely got that time in. But yeah, good for him to be able to kind of reset his mind, kind of get ready for this 0-2 count, maybe choke up a little bit to make sure he can make contact.
As that pitch is low, bringing the count to 1-2. Trying to get Cowden to chase the pitch in the dirt there, and he was having none of it.
Yeah, smart. It's a smart pitch there by Thorpe. Obviously, you don't want to give Cowden anything good on a 0-2 count. Might as well be nibbling at the corners and maybe get him to chase something.
And again, just outside, bringing the count to 2-2 now on Cowden.
Cowden definitely thought about that one. Had the check swing there, but it was just a bit outside, so nice job of holding up on that one.
In a throw over to second as Newman dives back in safely. Cowden yesterday against the Pioneers went 2 for 2 with a walk, also reached on an error and had a sac bunt. So very productive day at the plate as he takes ball 3 up and away, working the count full.
Nice job here by Cowden. Was in an 0-2 hole, and he's, instead of being, getting amped up about and trying to swing at everything, he's just taking a nice patient approach and making Thorpe work here.
And that pitch is inside as he works a walk after falling behind 0-2. And a really patient bat there by Cowden.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal at bat by Josh there. Again, working out of that 0-2 hole and be able to get yourself on base over there. Now you got 2 runners on for the ever-dangerous Cy Nielsen. He definitely did his job there.
Yeah, the junior right fielder Cy Nielsen now stepping to the plate. As he swings and fouls that first pitch back to bring the count to 0-1. Cy pitched a beautiful game yesterday in the opener against the Bobcats, pitching 4 2/3 of no-hit innings. Brad Cloward then came in relief and pitched an inning and a third, and they no-hit the Bobcats in that game.
Yeah, that one was the tone setter almost for the day, just being able to get out there and
that is a fair ball down the left field line on the grounder, and Newman will come around to score, and they will hold up Cowden at third, and that will be a double down the line for Cy Nielsen as the Dons strike first here in the bottom half.
Just what they needed from their cleanup hitter Cy Nielsen, able to just get a pitch that he likes and able to just squirt it over the third baseman as it rolls out there into the outfield. He's able to score. Newman. Cowden took a bit of a big turn there. Looked like he was maybe going to go, but they held him up there. But a nice RBI double to start things off here in the bottom of the first for Cy Nielsen.
And there are runners on second and third. Cowden on third, Nielsen on second, as the dangerous first baseman Dylan Lee now steps to the plate. And no surprise there that they didn't send him home with only 1 out. Don't want to make that out of the plate, as now ground ball or a fly ball will be able to get that runner in, and a base hit will drive in too.
Absolutely. Don't risk it. Don't get crazy with it. Go ahead and just keep him there at third. Dylan Lee, a big power hitter here in this lineup, certainly capable of getting it out into the outfield and just getting that nice, easy, productive way of getting that second run in instead of potentially getting him thrown out at the plate.
And the fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1 to Dylan Lee. As Dylan Lee fouls that back, bringing the count to 0-2 now. Lee, a .342 hitter on the season. 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. And back in the second game of this tournament against the Tooele Buffaloes, he did have a homer in that game.
He did. It was phenomenal. Loved it. He absolutely crushed it, and his teammates were definitely loving it too.
And a nice eye there by Lee, holding up at the last moment, bringing the count to 1-2. Nice pitch there by Thorpe, though, getting ahead 0-2 and almost getting him to chase.
Yeah, that's the right idea, and Thorpe's been doing great at this. He's just getting ahead of these batters.
And a swing and a miss, a big strikeout there for Thorpe, and that is the second out of the inning here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it's a big strikeout for Thorpe. Lee, definitely one of the better RBI producers in this lineup. He's able to be able to get that out, and now bringing up Dylan Hall here. Still a dangerous batter, but definitely good job there on Thorpe to get the K there against Lee.
And a first pitch strike as Hall falls behind 0-1. Big opportunity for Hall here, the senior second baseman for the Dons.
And he's got to be licking his chops here. He's got two guys in scoring position.
And a swing and a miss brings the count quickly to 0-2, and Thorpe again doing a good job of quickly working ahead of these hitters.
Yeah, Hall a little eager there. He definitely wanted to be the hero and swings right through that. But yeah, I've been impressed with how quickly Thorpe has been able to get 2 strikes on pretty much every hitter.
And a ground ball over to third should be a relatively easy play. And a nice play by Bronson Andrus over to third to end the inning as 2 runners are left on base. But in the bottom of the first, 1 run on 2 hits for the Dons as they take a 1-0 lead here on SF-17, and we'll be back in a minute.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. We are here at Brewster's Field over at Dixie State University. A beautiful sunny day out in St. George, and we've got a beautiful ball game as well here. It is the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Desert Hill Thunder. It is now the top of the second inning. The score is 1-0 in favor of the Dons off of a Cy Nielsen RBI double. And once again, Mason Nielsen, the other Nielsen brother, is the one that is on the mound, and he pitched quite a good top of the first inning for him.
Yeah, Mason was dominant in the top of the first, striking out both Trey Allred and Drew Thorpe to go along with a line out, a 1-2-3 inning in the top half.
As that was going to be worked on in there for strike 1 to Bronson Andrus, the third baseman and cleanup hitter for the Thunder. And that one's going to be ripped over to Tay Newman, who makes a nice play at third. Sends it on over the diamond, and that is going to be another quick out. A nice one there for Mason Nielsen, as there's now 1 out here in the top of the second.
Yeah, very impressive batter to get out. Andrus, the most powerful hitter on this Thunder team by far, more than double the second best RBI number on the team. So a really impressive first out here in the top of the second.
Yeah, definitely needed that one, as now it is Sam Roten up for the Thunder. And he looks at that one, and that is going to be a called strike. So an 0-1 count here to Roten. And that is now going to be 0-2 there, as Mason Nielsen is working quick here.
Yeah, definitely looks very confident out on the mound. Has the Thunder hitter off balance a little bit and working quickly as he's filling in a groove early.
And that one is going to be outside. Sam Roten takes that one, and it is now a 1-2 count. Definitely trying to get him to chase at that one. Here comes Nielsen with that 1-2. And he swings through that one, but he does able to get a piece of it there, fouls it off, and so he's able to stay alive.
Roten, a .391 hitter on the year with 17 RBIs.
So definitely a decent bat here in this Thunder lineup. See what he does here on the 1-2. That one is going to be upstairs, and he's going to take that one for ball 2, evening up the count. Gets a piece of that one, and it is going to be fouled back as he once again stays alive here in this 2-2 count. There's 1 out so far in the top of the second inning. The Desert Hills Thunder are up, and it is the Dons out in the field and Mason Nielsen on the mound. Is that a shot right up towards Nielsen? And that's going to be out into the center field, and that is going to be a single there for Sam Roten, and for the Desert Hills Thunder, that is an important one, as that's going to be the first base runner of the game.
Yeah, first base hit for the Thunder today after Nielsen was able to retire the first 4 hitters, and with 1 out, they have a base runner now.
we'll see what Brigham Gardner, the first baseman for the Thunder, can do here up against Mason Nielsen. As that one is going to be ripped into the gap right there in center and left field. Chappell gets to it, sends it back in as they are waving him on home, and that is going to be the first run of the game for the Thunder as they have just tied it up on an RBI double by the first baseman, Brigham Gardner.
Yeah, great piece of hitting by Brigham Gardner there, and there are some deep, big gaps here at this ballpark at Bryce Hurst Field. A much bigger ballpark than many of these players are used to playing at, and when that ball gets in the left and right center gap, it's very easy for runners to be able to come in and score all the way from first.
Yeah, it's going to be absolute trouble just with how deep it is, and Gardner definitely getting a nice piece of that one and is now tying up the ball game here. It is now 1-1 as the Thunder draw even now with the Dons, and that now brings up Mason Krieger, the catcher here for the Thunder. Krieger is going to take that one inside, and that is going to be a 1-0 count. Once again, there is a runner on second here in the top of the first after one run is scored, and he's going to get another strike on that one, so it is now a 1-1 count here to Mason Krieger.
Yeah, Krieger just missed that one, fouling it straight back, and a lucky break for Nielsen on the mound.
Yep. Here comes that 1-1. And that is going to be strike two. Mason Nielsen able to paint the inside corner on that one. Nice pitch.
Yeah, beautiful breaking ball by Nielsen right there. One of the better pitches he's thrown today, dropping that right in there for strike two.
And he gets him to swing out in front. And they're going to send that over. That is going to be out number 2 in the inning, and strikeout number 3 for Mason Nielsen.
Yeah, nice job there by the catcher Cowden to come up with that pitch cleanly. As was a little low. Runner Krieger thought it was in the dirt as he tried to run down to first, but the umpire was having none of it.
Yep. I mean, you got to try, Might as well at least run and see if he says it is, but that's going to now bring up Jackson here, Jackson Reber. That one's going to be in the dirt. Cowden doing a good job to keep it in front, but that's going to be a 1-0 count here to Reber.
Yeah, Reber a 275 hitter on the year. Not a lot of power with no home runs and no triples, but he does have 3 doubles and 9 RBIs on the season.
Yeah, so not too shabby for the number 8 hitter. That one is going to be low and outside for ball 2. Nice 2-0 count here for Reber.
Big opportunity for the Thunder here in the top of the second to, with a base hit, retake the lead.
Yeah, that's probably what Cowden's talking about there is just, hey, just get this guy out. Just throw some strikes and let's go ahead and get on out of this inning as they only need just one more here. Obviously, they do have the runner on second, Gardner over there at second, and Jackson Reber up. Again, it is a 2-0 count here. As that one is sent on over to Newman, who jumps, is able to send it on over, and that is going to be out number 3 in the top of the second. A nice play there by Newman to go ahead and snuff out this little run here for the Thunder, as they do get one across on the Brigham Gardner double, but otherwise still a decent outing here for Mason Nielsen.
Yeah, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 runner left on base there in the top of the second, but Nielsen again able to work out of a little trouble with the runner on second and only 1 out, and as we head now to the bottom of the second, 1-1 game with the Dons bats coming back up.
And since we've got that little break, it'd be a nice time to go ahead and remind you of our wonderful sponsors, the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson, State Farm, Triple T, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Wise, Chris Jansen, Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza. We also would like to remind you that this game is live on our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/SpanishFork17. Obviously, you can watch the game on our actual cable channel, but for your friends, your cousins, everyone that's not around, definitely get them on our website, get them watching this game live.
Yeah, big game for the Dons today. They've been fighting hard in this tournament after losing that opener to Pineview 11-1, bouncing back on Saturday afternoon to beat Twilla 12-2, and then yesterday morning beating a fellow 1 seed, the Skyview Bobcats, 11-1 via the run rule, and then last night a 10-7 win over the Lehigh Pioneers for a third consecutive elimination game win, and there are only 6 teams left in this tournament. At the end of the day, there will only be 3, so if the Dons can win both of these games today, they'll be closing in.
Absolutely. As now Josh Dart is up, and he sends that one over to third. A bit of a difficult play for the third baseman, but he does get it on over there, and that is going to be a quick first out in this particular inning for Drew Thorpe.
Yeah, nice play by Bronson Andrus over at third. Second consecutive play that he's made out there in the field. And while his specialty is hitting, he also brings a nice defensive presence out there for the Thunder.
No, absolutely. Be able to lock down that hot corner over there is a definite boon for the Thunder, as now this brings up Carson Chappell, who checks his swing on that one. He's going to take that one for ball 1.
Chappell up for the first time today.
That one is going to be just a bit outside and also low. And that is going to be now a 2-0 count here for Carson Chappell.
Yeah, that one gets by the catcher, Mason Krieger, but no one on base here, so no harm for the Thunder defense.
No harm, no foul. Here's that 2-0 pitch. And that one is going to be nice and in there for strike 1. Chappell now working with the 2-1 count.
Chappell, as we've talked about all year, is a luxury to have in the 8 spot here. A really impressive hitter.
As he swings through that one, a nice big healthy cut there for strike 2, and that evens up the count.
A .319 hitter on the year with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs brings a little bit of pop from the bottom of this lineup.
You know that's right, as that one is going to be high and outside as Chappell works the count to full.
Yeah, nice job by Chappell to make him work a little bit. Some of these batters have been swinging at that first and second pitch, and Thorpe hasn't had to work that much, but able to foul that one off and stay alive.
Whew, not able to just get enough of that one, Elliott. Just a little piece of it, so he's able to stay alive here on this full count. The leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the second for the Dons. Not the leadoff hitter, my bad. He's the second one up as he swings through that one, and that is going to be strike 3. And unfortunately, that's been a theme so far in the playoffs here for Carson Chappell.
Yeah, second strikeout of the day for Thorpe. A power pitcher on this team, like you mentioned earlier, 7-1 on the year. Definitely their ace. Surprising that they didn't use him yesterday, but they were able to save him for this big game today. And definitely looking impressive so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Has looked the part of an ace as Riley Hess, the number 9 hitter, is up for the Dons, and he takes that one outside for ball 1.
Hess had a nice game last night, going 2 for 3 with a walk.
Swings through that one for strike 1, evening the count.
He also had arguably the most exciting play of the game yesterday on that bloop double down the right field line. It was thrown away, and he was able to come all the way around and score what was almost an inside the park home run if it wasn't for that error.
He loops that one, as you heard there. Look out as it was heading out towards the, now it looks like it's going to be out towards the parking lot here. That one was ripped nicely, but it is foul, and that is a 1-2 count to Hess. Drew Thorpe so far working through the bottom of the Dons order pretty well on this 1-2 count. And that one is going to be outside. Riley Hess able to lay off that one as it's now 2-2. Just hoping to potentially get a base runner here, as that is swung on, but it is sprayed foul by Hess. Still working on that 2-2 count. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Hess working a 2-2 count as Drew Thorpe is there on the mound, and here comes the pitch. And that is going to be blooped out into shallow left, and is going to fall right in between the outfielders and the shortstop. And the throw also gets a little bit away from the second baseman there, as Riley Hess finds some grass out there in the outfield and drops in a nice bloop single.
Yeah, Riley Hess, the master of the bloop hit these last 2 days, and we mentioned there's a lot of territory to cover out in these left and right field gaps, and so this is making the left fielders, Sam Roton and the right fielder Landon Levine for the Thunder, play quite deep during this game, and so that ball was able to just drop perfectly right in between everyone.
Yeah, it just kind of kept carrying, and the shortstop kept running back, and I'm like, is he going to get it? Not sure. That one's going to be outside, but Hess is going to be stealing on that one, and that's going to be thrown out into the outfield, as that is a stolen base there by Riley Hess, as he is able to move on over from first to second.
Yeah, Hess got a nice jump there. It looked like it would have been a very close play at second base had the catcher Mason Krieger not overthrown that pitch, but with it getting well over his head, Hess in there safely, and now a 2-out RBI opportunity with a runner in scoring position in Hess.
Yeah, you know that Newman loves that, getting that runner in scoring position. See, tips that one. That's going to even the count up here to 1-1 for the junior third baseman, Tay Newman.
Newman with a single back in the first inning. Pintar bunting him over to second and then scoring on the Cy Nielsen RBI double.
And that's going to be ripped towards the pitcher, and it goes off of his glove, sending it towards the second baseman, who quickly gobbles it up and is able to send it on over to first, and that is going to be out number 3 on the inning. So Riley Hess is able to get a single, gets himself over to third, but unfortunately Tay Newman grounds out into that one. So no runs scored there in the bottom half of the inning, as this game is still 1-1, a tie ball game heading over to the third inning. Thank you so much for being with us here on Spanish Sports 17. We'll see you on the flip side.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
And welcome back here on SF17 in the top of the third. A quick look at some of the Spanish Fork faithful fans as well as the Desert Hill Thunder fans in attendance in this elimination game here on a Thursday afternoon in the 2018 Utah 4A High School State Tournament.
Yeah, I'm impressed that so many Spanish Fork fans are out here. Like, it's a bit of a trip. We made the trip out here as well, but to be able to make that bit of travel is like 3.5 hours from Spanish Fork. So to have that kind of dedication to this team, I love it. I love that the fans are out here and cheering on the Dons.
We appreciate all the support as we head now to the top of the third inning with Mason Nielsen on the mound as a leadoff base hit off the bat of Landon Levine, swinging on the fastball and driving that out to left field for a leadoff single.
Landon Levine not messing around, knowing that he was going to probably get a quality pitch there for the first pitch off of Mason Nielsen, and he just goes ahead and shoots it through the gap and is able to get on base here for the Thunder, that leadoff runner.
And the junior center fielder Bo Barbin at the plate now for Desert Hills. Barbin lined out to first in his first plate appearance to lead off the game. And he squares around to bunt, but bunts that one well foul down the left field line over towards the Thunder dugout. Or sorry, the Dons dugout.
Yeah, not the prettiest looking bunt there, as he kind of gets it out there and kind of adjusts it, and that's why it ended up lining out as opposed to getting on the ground, not able to keep it level.
A quick throw from Nielsen over to Lee, but Levine dives back safely. And again, a quick throw, but no harm. And the 0-1 now to Levine. And he squares around to bunt again, and he lays that one down. And the throw wild over to first, and everyone is safe. Big mistake there by Nielsen.
Yeah, an unfortunate one there for Nielsen. It was a well-placed bunt, like right there in between the third baseman Newman and the pitcher there, but unfortunately not a great throw there. It drags Lee up. He's able to jump for it, but not able to come back down in time to be able to get the out there. So yeah, just a bit of an unfortunate throw there for Nielsen, throwing it up and not being able to get that easy out.
And a little bit of a dangerous situation here for the Dons in the top of the third. Runners on first and second and nobody out, and the 2-3-4 hitters coming up to the plate as Trey Allred, the senior shortstop, squares around for bunt before pulling back to take it 0-1. 1-0. Allred a strikeout victim back in the top of the first. As he will take that one outside as well.
Nice patient approach here by Allred. Obviously, you got runners on first and second. Don't want to, accidentally hit something that's going to potentially create a double play. So definitely wait for something that you can hit and potentially drive out into the outfield. Or do this, or square for the bunt.
And he bunts that one foul. The count 2-1 now. And again, he squares around to bunt, and that is fouled off to the left side, bringing the count to 2-2 now on Allred, unable to get the bunt down. And now with 2 strikes, you'd expect that they would take the bunt signal off and have him swing away. But Coach Chris Allred for the Thunder will have an interesting decision to make here.
Absolutely. We've seen crazier things. We've definitely seen them going for the bunt on the 2-strike count anyway.
And that pitch is driven out to right field. And Cy Nielsen has a beat on it, is caught, and the runner will be tagging over to third to throw a little bit off. And Levine able to move over to third successfully there, as there will be runners on the corners now after the fly out to right.
Yeah, he did his job. He advanced the runner from second to third, so still productive out there for Trey Allred.
And with 1 out now, we have runners on the corners as the dangerous bat, the sophomore first baseman Drew Thorpe, steps up to the plate. Thorpe struck out looking back in the first inning. One of 3 strikeout victims today by Mason Nielsen. And a bunt foul there. It looked like a little bit of a safety squeeze play was put on as Drew Thorpe bunts that one foul to bring the count to 0-1.
Yeah, kind of an interesting choice there. I feel like you've got Drew Thorpe, your big power hitter up there. Kind of an interesting decision for the Thunder to go ahead and go with the suicide squeeze or the drag bunt. So almost I feel like taking the bat out of one of your best hitters. Kind of taking him out of the game a little bit in that sense. You obviously would hope with a guy in scoring position that he can find some outfield grass.
And again, he squares around to bunt. And he's coming to the plate, and he is safe. Just barely getting in before the slide. And a little bit of an interesting call there. It looked like they had the ball in time and the tag was applied, but the umpire having none of it, and a successful bunt attempt there for the Thunder.
Yep, he did his job. That's what they told him to do, and he lays down to beauty. It did look like Nielsen, they had a play there at the plate, just, I guess, not able to apply the tag in time, and so they were able to get the run in from third, and now they've got the lead.
Yeah, 2-1 now Thunder lead here in the top of the third on the safety squeeze bunt. And that brings up the junior third baseman Bronson Andrus to the plate as there are runners on first and second now with only 1 out. And a pitch lined over to third, and the runners froze and are able to dive back safely, but a big out as Bronson Andrus, the junior third baseman, lines out on the first pitch. And there are 2 outs now here in the top of the third inning.
He definitely hit a rope over there to third base, and been able to get to that one and keep the runners from advancing. So a good, efficient out there for Mason Nielsen.
And with 2 outs now in the top of the third, 1 run already across, and runners on first and second. The batter at the plate now will be the junior left fielder, Sam Rotan, who swings through that one to bring the count to 0-1. Bo Barbin on second. And Drew Thorpe on first, reaching on the suicide squeeze. And a breaking ball just misses, bringing the count to 1-1. And a single through the left side, and that will, everyone will move up one base, but no further, as Carson Chappell charges that ball nicely out in left field and is able to get it in quickly. As Bo Barbin moves over to third, and Drew Thorpe moves to second.
And that's going to load the bases up there for the Thunder. So nice piece of hitting there by Sam Broughton, able to rip that one. But also, as you mentioned there, nice job by Chappell as well. Like, that could have easily been another run there, but he was able to charge up, get to that one quickly, and able to get it in before the potential runner is able to kind of round third base and get on home.
Yeah, big opportunity here for the Thunder in the top of the third. Bases loaded here with 2 outs. And the Dons in desperate need of a big out here to bring the bats back up and try to get that run back that they've given up.
Absolutely, they desperately need out of this one. Mason Nielsen had been in a little bit of cruise control here, and now he's run into a bit of a snag here with this bases loaded jam. But again, nice little conference there at the mound just to kind of talk it out, be like, hey, you only need one. You just need a ground out, a strikeout. You just need only one, and you can get out of this jam, get out of this inning, and get the bats up, as you said.
The batter at the plate now, the junior first baseman, Brigham Gardner, and maybe one of the main reasons they had a meeting out on the mound is because Gardner ripped a double out to left center his last time up, as that pitch catches the corner to bring the count to 0-1.
Nice job there by Nielsen to get ahead on this particular batter. Again, he got beat by Gardner in the last at bat, but definitely a good job here to establish that 0-1 count.
And a ground ball over to the pitcher, and Olsen is able to make the throw over to first, and a big third out as they are able to get out of a bases loaded jam here in the top of the third. And while one run was able to come in to score, damage averted there for the Dons as we head now to the bottom of the third, and the Dons bats get a chance to step up to the plate.
Yeah, it was going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Dons, so certainly an opportunity to get right back into this one and potentially tie it up, or even better, get back in the lead.
Yeah, 1 run on 3 hits, 3 runners left on base, and as you mentioned a moment ago, lots of big bats coming up for the Dons here. But before we talk about the big bats, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors here: the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, Sporting Goods for all seasons, and 2 Jacks Pizza. And as we head now to the bottom of the third inning, our Dons trailing 2-1. Dons getting on the board first in the bottom half of the first inning on an RBI double off the bat of Cy Nielsen, bringing in Tay Newman, but Desert Hills putting up 1 in the second and 1 in the third to build a 1-run lead as the bats of Pintar, Cowden, and Nielsen, the 2, 3, 4 hitters, step up to the plate here for the Dons in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, definitely some of the most dangerous bats in the Dons lineup here with Pintar, Cowden, and Nielsen. As Elliot said, Nielsen with the RBI double. So this is the group that produced the first run of the game for the Dons, and certainly they want to see a repeat of that here in the bottom half of the third here.
And ball 1 just outside to Pintar to lead off this bottom of the third. Both pitchers not working nearly as quickly as we've seen in some of the other games, as that pitch is a strike just on the outside corner, bringing the count even at 1-1. If you were watching our game yesterday with Cy Nielsen on the mound, Nielsen got in such a groove, he was throwing a pitch it seemed like every 10 seconds, and the Skyview Bobcats hitters just couldn't catch up, as that pitch is a strike just on the corner, as that will bring the count to 0-2 now on Pintar.
Yeah, Pintar in an early hole here. We'll see what he's able to do here to be able to hopefully protect the plate and get himself on base. Certainly that's something he's done all season long with this .407 average with his 35 hits on the season, 21 runs. Definitely an important hitter here for the Dons.
as that pitch is up and away, bringing the count even at 2-2 on Pintar. Pintar with a sac bunt back in the bottom of the first inning after a leadoff base hit from Newman. Was able to move Newman over to second before Cy Nielsen was able to drive him in. And that pitch is a called strike 3. Pintar leaning back to try to get out of the way. A little bit of a tough call, but the ump thought it hit the corner, and that is a leadoff strikeout here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, that one hurts as a hitter because you're coming in and you're like, oh man, that's definitely going to be a ball. And then when the ump calls it a strike, you just kind of have to sigh a little bit and just kind of walk off and live to get another at bat, I guess.
The senior catcher Josh Cowden at the plate now. And Cowden rips that one out to left field, and the left fielder going back, and it will get over his head, and it will drop, and that will be a double for Cowden here with one out in the bottom of the third. Sam Roton, the left fielder for the Thunder, drifting backwards, but that ball just kept carrying and just barely got over his glove for a double.
Yeah, the magic of the heat out here in St. George, and also the magic of the wind as it is just blowing in that exact direction, so it just kind of kept carrying and carrying and carrying, and Cowden gets himself a nice double there. Nice piece of hitting.
And a good opportunity now for the Dons to tie up this game. Down 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. And Cy Nielsen up at the plate again with another opportunity to drive in a run.
Absolutely. This is exactly what the Dons want.
And Thorpe steps off, and looks Cowden back, but no throw. And a swing and a miss from Cy Nielsen here. Don's down 2-1 in the bottom of the third. Cowden on second, and Nielsen with a good RBI opportunity here to even up this game.
Yeah, hoping for a repeat of that RBI double that he hit in the first.
And there will be a throw this time from Thorpe, trying to keep Cowden close as Caden Goodman, the second baseman, comes over for that one, but not really a close play there.
Yeah, not really, but they do want to make sure to keep Cowden close.
And that ball is flied very high and deep to center field, but the center fielder has a beat on it. And a nice play out there by Bo Barbin for the second out of the inning here in the bottom of the third.
That almost hit a country mile up into the sky there by Nielsen. Definitely got a good piece of it, but yeah, instead of it, heading out, it headed up instead. So really, really deep fly ball. Nice job there by the center fielder, and now we're down to only one more out here.
Yeah, the senior first baseman Dylan Lee at the plate now, as it will now be his task with 2 outs to get that big hit and drive in that run.
He's certainly capable of it. One of the better RBI guys on this team.
And a ground ball foul down the third base line over towards the Dons dugout.
Lee, a guy with some pop in this lineup, as we talked about, has 2 home runs on the season, so certainly a guy that can give you that extra base hit when you need it.
And he swings at a pitch outside for strike 2. Catcher thinking it was strike 3, getting up to tag him, but that is only strike 2 on Lee, now bringing the count to 0-2.
Yeah, just a little eager, Krieger wanting to get out of all that gear as soon as possible. So why not try it? See if the ump takes it as strike 3. But yep, going to be an 0-2 count here.
And the breaking ball catches the outside corner for strike 3 looking, and that will end the inning here in the bottom of the third. No runs on 1 hit, 1 runner left on base as Cowden is stranded. And after 3 innings here on SF-17, Thunder 2, Dons 1, and we'll be back in a minute.
Wild Mustangs. They're supposed to be one of the most gentle creatures in nature.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these. That's why more people save money by combining their home and auto with State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17 as we are down here in St. George for the 4A state baseball playoffs, and Spanish Fork is currently playing the Desert Hills Thunder here in the playoffs in a, do or die game here. It is 2-1 in favor of the Thunder as they were able to get a run in the second, a run in the third, though Mason Nielsen was able to work out of a bases loaded jam in his last inning, and that definitely is keeping the Dons in this game, as that could have blown this game wide open if that had been if that particular jam hadn't been gotten out of.
And the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Thunder here, so a good opportunity for Nielsen to work a quick inning and get the Dons bats right back up to the plate.
Yeah, they absolutely need to be able to make some quick work here of the bottom part of the order, as it is Mason Krieger that is up. So he checks a swing on that one, but it is low and outside for ball one. Krieger struck out in the second inning against Nielsen. This is his second plate appearance as he swings through that one, and that is going to be strike one.
Yeah, got him to chase the pitch a little bit outside there, and a little bit of a weak swing and a lucky break for Nielsen on the mound.
And that one is also going to be outside as Krieger works himself into a 2-1 count. Once again, caught chasing on that one, and that is now going to even the count up to 2-2 for Mason Krieger.
Yeah, Mason Nielsen yet to throw a strike so far in this at-bat, but somehow he has himself in a good 2-2 situation as the hitter, Mason Krieger, has been unable to lay off some of those breaking pitches.
Absolutely. Here's that 2-2 pitch. Oh, and that one is going to be just outside as Mason Krieger now brings this one to a full count.
The same pitch Dylan Lee was called out for strikes in the last inning. A little bit of an unlucky break for Mason Nielsen right there, not getting that call.
In fact, there was a little bit of a conversation between the umpire and Josh Cowden on that one, as now here comes that full count pitch.
And that
ripped over to Pintar. Oh, and it just gets past the diving glove of Andrew Pintar, and now it gets past the left fielder Carson Chappell, rolls over to the wall, and that is going to be a single and a little bit of a mistake there by Carson Chappell as Krieger rumbles on over to second base on the miscue out there in left field.
Yeah, to start that off, absolutely great piece of hitting on that full count pitch by Krieger, ripping that ball to left. Pintar with a great effort, almost being able to dive and make a spectacular play there, just getting by him for the base hit, and a little bit of a sloppy play out there by the senior left fielder Carson Chappell as he let that ball roll right through his legs into the wall, allowing Krieger to be able to move over to second with no outs here.
Once again, the Thunder have their leadoff man on base, and now brings up Jackson Reber, the designated hitter for the Thunder, with a runner there on second base. As Reber looks at that one, and it's going to paint the outside corner for strike one. He swings away at that one, getting a nice cut at it, but he does miss, and that's going to be strike two there on Jackson Reber.
Jackson with the ground ball to third base, his first time up back in the top of the second inning. And a nice job by Mason Nielsen here to work ahead and get himself in a good situation.
Much more favorable here as here's the 0-2. That one's going to be taken outside, and then moves it to a 1-2 count. Jackson Reber was not going to be caught swinging at that one, as he's now got a 1-2 count, but still does need to protect the plate here. As he sprays that one foul, he's able to stay alive.
Reber is a .275 hitter on the year with 11 hits and 9 RBIs.
So as we mentioned before, not bad production there from the number 8 hitter in the lineup, as he's now goes ahead and digs back in here for this 1-2 pitch. He sprays that one out in between first and second base, and Nielsen is going to be able to get that one in as they go ahead and hold up Krieger there at third base, but a great piece of hitting for Jackson Reber as he finds some infield dirt, and then it goes out into the outfield for a single.
Yeah, a little bit of an unlucky break there for Nielsen. Ball not hit super hard, but finds a gap between first and second, and there are runners on the corners now with nobody out here, and Desert Hills is looking like they're going to put up a few more runs here.
Yeah, once again threatening, though, this time with no outs yet, as the first two hitters of this inning are on, and now that is going to be blooped out, and it's going to be over the head of Andrew Pintar, and that is going to score the run from third, as the Desert Hills Thunder have now put up another run on the board and is now 3-1 in favor of the Thunder, and a nice little bloop single there by Landon Levine.
Yeah, Thunder putting together nice at-bats here at the bottom of the order, as the 7, 8, 9 hitters have been able to all get hits in succession.
Yeah, you kind of hope that the bottom of the order is where you can kind of maybe get some easy outs, but they have not been easy outs at all here for Mason Nielsen, as it's been single, and guess what? Another single for the Thunder here so far, and that's why we've got a conference here on the mound.
And Landon Levine, who just had that bloop single over Pintar's head, is having a nice day at the plate. He singled in the top of the third inning and was the one runner that was able to come around and score, and again this inning with a nice single, as the bottom of the lineup has really come through for the Thunder today. 7, 8, and 9 each getting hits, as they've really set the table nicely for the top of the order here.
Absolutely. It's the bottom of the order that is bringing the Thunder in this Thunder lineup. Landon Levine 2 for 2, as Elliot was saying. So kind of an interesting turn of events here for the Dons, where it's been the bottom of the Thunder lineup that's really been doing the damage for them.
And there will be a pitching change, it looks like, out there on the mound. A nice job by Mason Nielsen on the mound today, but struggling a little bit at the end here, giving up back-to-back-to-back singles, as the Dons are now down 3-1, and understanding that with Thorpe on the mound for the Thunder and runs definitely at a premium during this game, they need to hold them right here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Nielsen, but I think it is the right move here to go ahead and bring in a new pitcher, as he gives up 3 runs in his outing on 7 hits. So unfortunately not the start that the Dons wanted necessarily out of Nielsen, but going to go ahead and make the pitching swap here to hopefully keep themselves in this game.
And the new pitcher of record for the Dons coming into today's game will be Mason Olson. Olson, one of the all-star relievers on this Dons pitching staff, a guy that they probably hoped that they could have saved for the game at 7 o'clock tonight. But when it's an elimination game, you can't look ahead to the future. You got to take care of business now. And with the Dons down 3-1 here in the fourth, he'll step into the game. Mason has 7 appearances on the year, and he has a 3-0 record with a .97 ERA. So a sub-1 ERA, absolutely dominant on the mound for the Dons this year, and not in just a few innings. It's over 21 and 2/3 innings, only allowing 3 earned runs.
Yeah, this is definitely a guy that for the Dons, he is their the guy that puts out the fire, I guess, as you will, as the relief pitcher. You're called in, kind of put into a little more difficult situations with runners on, and you're the one that's called on to be the one to stop rallies. And Mason Olson has been doing it all season long, as now he's going to get the top of the order for the Thunder, bringing back up Bo Barbin, the center fielder. As Olson looks on, and here is his first pitch of the game. Instead, he's going to do a little move there, make sure they keep the runners close by. Barbin lined out to first base in his first at bat, and he was a recipient of an error and was able to get on in the third. He squares away for the bunt, but then pulls it back, as that one was upstairs, and he takes ball 1. Barbin digs back in, and here is the 1-0 pitch. Squares away for the bunt again, pulls back, but this time it is going to be a called strike, and that evens the count up 1-1 on Barbin.
Yeah, nice pitch there by Mason. A very tough pitch to bunt, as that is on the outside corner. And Bo Barbin pulls back, and now he has a strike.
And he swings at that one, taking the bunt off, and instead goes for the hit, and instead swings through it, and that's going to be strike 2, a 1-2 count. Getting a little bit of a conversation there on the mound, just making sure they got the right pitch and the right signs and everything. Definitely a safe call there by Cowden and Olsen to go ahead and talk things over a bit. And it is again the 1-2 count with runners on first and second. Bo Barbin, the leadoff hitter for the Thunder, up at the plate. And that one is going to be outside. It is now a 2-2 count.
Barbin, a .365 hitter on the year with 9 hits and 3 RBIs.
Definitely does a good job at the top of the order for the Thunder. Here's that 2-2 pitch, and that is going to be smacked out into right field. Cy Nielsen able to camp under that one, gets it in, and he's also able to make sure that the runners do not advance at all. So a bit of a loud out there for Bo Barbin, but Mason Olsen able to come in and get that first out of the inning.
Yeah, and a very impressive arm that Cy Nielsen showed off in right field. They're throwing a gun into Andrew Pintar, and the runner on second, Jackson Reber, thinking that was going to drop, got a little bit too far off the bag there and was unable to tag and move over to third on the play.
Absolutely. Nice little save there for the Dons, as that is a 1-0 pitch there to Trey Allred, the shortstop. He gets a little piece of that one, and that evens the count up now to 1-1 on Allred. Allred flew out to right field in his last at bat in the third, and he was a strikeout victim in the first inning against Mason Nielsen. This is now his third at bat here, the number 2 hitter for the Thunder. And that one is going to be hit over to Pintar, who gets the out over there, but does not get the out over at first. So Trey Allred is going to be safe on the fielder's choice there, but a nice job by Pintar to at least get the out there at second base.
Yeah, that ball was hit pretty slowly. I thought that off the bat he had a pretty easy play to just throw it over to third and get that lead runner, but as a shortstop you want the double play and you want to get out of that inning, and it was a close play over at first, as there are 2 outs now and a chance for the Dons to get out of this inning.
Yeah, you got to at least try to turn it, as now you've got Drew Thorpe up for the Thunder. And he's going to take that one low and outside for ball 1. So you've got Allred over there at first base. You've got Jackson Reber over there at third, as that is going to be another ball. So it's a 2-0 count now to Drew Thorpe.
Yeah, Thorpe 1 for 2 on the day with a suicide single back in the third, bringing in the second run of the game, giving them the lead at the time.
That one is going to find the outside corner for strike 1, as now it is a 2-1 count.
And a big situation here for the Dons. Really don't want to give up that runner from third. Already down a couple in this game with the Thunder ace on the mound.
Here comes that 2-1 pitch. And that is going to be sent on over towards the shortstop, and it takes a wicked hop over Pintar. And so it gets out into the outfield, and that is going to score Jackson Reber from third base, and it will advance Allred over to second, as that is going to be an RBI single for Drew Thorpe, helping his cause there on the mound.
Yeah, big hit for Thorpe. And it looks like we will have a pinch runner over at first base. Logan Wilstead coming in to run for Thorpe, as Thorpe with the pitching duties, they don't want to wear him out running the bases as well.
Probably a smart decision there by the Thunder, as this now brings up Bronson Andrus. That's going to be taken high and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, Allred moving over to second on that base hit. As we mentioned, Thorpe pinch run for, as Logan Wilstead is on first and Bronson Andrus at the plate.
And that one is going to find the inside part of the plate for strike 1. It's going to be a 1-1 count here to Bronson Andrus. Andrus so far hitting everything over towards third base, a ground out and a line out in his previous at-bats. That one's going to be chopped foul, bringing the count to 1-2. Mason Olsen looking for that last out here in this inning, as there are 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Just looking for one more strike. Instead, that is going to be fouled off there by Andrus, as he stays alive here on this 1-2 count.
Andrus, the third baseman for the Thunder has only hit it to the third baseman Tay Newman today. We ground out to third in the second inning and a line out to third in the third inning. Lots of threes in there.
Tons of threes. So that one's going to be upstairs, and that is going to be a stolen base, and it squirts away from Tay Newman, and that is not only going to end up scoring Trey Aldred, but it is also going to move Drew Thorpe, actually not Thorpe, but the pinch runner in for Thorpe over to second base. As that is that was a bit of a miscue there for the Dons.
And it looks like Coach Casey Nelson is coming out to have a word with the umpire, because when Josh Cowden threw that ball, it looked like the runner got in his way, and that's why that throw was so low and weak. He wants a little bit of batter's interference on the play on the throw, but the ump isn't giving him any of that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, as you saw there, folks, like it clearly looked like he had a case there. The Cowden definitely has a case there for interference, but unfortunately they're not going to go for it, as that ends up being a bit of a crazy play for the Dons as it squeaks past Newman and ends up scoring that run, and now it's going to be 5-1 in favor of the Thunder off of that crazy play.
Yeah, a couple big runs coming in for the Thunder here. 3 runs already across in the inning, and threatening for more with the runner in scoring position.
As that one is going to be taken for a ball, and that moves the count on over to a full count.
Again, a breaking ball that just didn't quite catch the corner. It looked like it was there again, but this ump being a little bit tough on the Dons pitching.
And once again, another throwing miscue as Olsen gets that one past Hall, and that's going to move him on over to third base. Now he's gone from a throwing error that moved him on over to second, and now another throwing error that's going to get him over to third.
Yeah, lots of sloppy baseball being played by the Dons here in the top of the 4th inning, and as we mentioned, 3 runs already in, and runners just being able to move up on the bases without hits being recorded, as there's been wild throws all over the place. As that is ball 4 to Bronson Andrus.
He's going to take the walk there at the free pass, and that is going to put runners on the corners for the Thunder, as somehow they are just kind of still humming along here with 2 outs, and Mason Olsen struggling to get out of this particular jam here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, it looked like they might be able to get out of this inning with only 1 run coming in, and 2 outs, a pitch away from getting out of it, but unable to get that 3rd out.
And that's going to be rocked out to right field as Nielsen, and it gets away from him. It looks like he had a beat on it and kind of got under it. Instead, it squirts past him, as now he's going to be rumbling on over to third, and Tay Newman able to stay in front of that one. But wow, another kind of unfortunate play for the defense, as Nielsen looked like he may have had it, but instead it misses, and that's going to be a 3-bagger there for Sam Roten.
Yeah, 2 more runs coming across to score there. Well, it was a very routine fly ball out to right field. Cy Nielsen battling the sun out there and unable to come up with it, and a huge error by Nielsen out there in right.
Yeah, that's going to really sting there for the Dons, as now the score is now 7-1 for the Thunder over the Dons, and that's going to bring up Brigham Gardner. He's going to take that one inside, and that's going to be strike 1.
Gardner, the 9th hitter for the Thunder this inning. In an inning that has really unraveled.
And that's going to be sent out to center field, and Hess is chasing that one, and he's able to catch that one, as the Dons are finally able to get out of that particular half inning, as the damage really has been done there by the Thunder. The Thunder definitely doing their best on the offensive end, but also getting some help from the Dons defense. A couple of miscues there, as 5 runs were scored in that top half of the inning, as now the score is 7-1 Desert Hills over Spanish Fork.
Yeah, 5 runs on only 4 hits, a runner left on base, and the errors really coming to hurt the Dons in that inning, as the Dons have now committed 5 errors on the game, 3 of them coming on that inning. A big one out there by Nielsen, the key blow, but also some bad throwing errors from Cowden and also Mason Olsen on the mound.
Yeah, this is a good time for us to remind you of our wonderful sponsors, the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikhail Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, sporting goods for all seasons, and 2 Jacks Pizza. Yeah, a bit of a crazy top of the fourth there for the Dons defense, as you were saying there, Elliot. Just a whole bunch of miscues, some throwing errors, and just kind of an unfortunate unraveling there for the Dons. But hopefully here in the bottom half of the inning, they're able to get the bats going here against Drew Thorpe.
Yeah, this is a big bottom half of the inning for the Dons. Down 7-1 now. About midway through this game, and the Dons will have 4 plate appearances to attempt to make up this 6-run deficit, or else their season will come to a close, and Dylan Hall, Josh Dart, and Carson Chappell will be tasked with kind of getting this inning going.
And they're definitely going to need all the base runners they can get as Dylan Hall is digging in. And that one is going to be outside for ball 1 to Dylan Hall.
Thorpe with a little bit of breathing room to work with now on the mound, as the Thunder pitcher will just want to focus on throwing strikes here.
That one's going to be ripped down the first base line, but it is going to be foul. So that's going to move the count on over to 1-1 for Dylan Hall.
Now Hall, nice piece of hitting there, but just wasn't quite able to keep that one foul. Keep that one fair.
Keep that one fair, and ended up going foul. Just kind of sliced a little bit there. Unfortunately for Hall, as he digs back in here on this 1-1 count. That one is going to be outside and in the dirt. And that's going to now be 2 balls and 1 strike.
Nice play by Mason Krieger behind the plate there, blocking that ball.
Yeah, the backstop goes for miles, and so it's going to be important for the catchers to make sure to keep everything in front of them. And that one is also going to be smoked, but once again, it is going to be foul over there to that first base side. That one going out of play, and that evens the count up to 2-2.
Hall grounded out to the third baseman back in the first inning, in his only plate appearance so far today.
And here in his second plate appearance, he's going to go ahead and call time. Feeling like Thorpe was taking a bit of time there on the mound, so Hall's going to step out, refocus, readjust the gloves, do everything he can to kind of get comfortable in the batter's box as he now faces this 2-2 count against the Thunder ace. Instead, he takes a terrible cut at that one. A nice pitch by Thorpe as Dylan Hall goes down on strikes.
Yeah, Thorpe got him to chase a very, very bad pitch there, and a big first out in the bottom of the 4th inning here for the Thunder.
That's going to be the first out of the inning, and now that brings up the designated hitter Josh Dart for the Spanish Fork Dons. And he's going to take that one for strike 1.
Josh Dart on the year is a .300 hitter.
Definitely a respectable mark. And here comes that 0-1. And he's going to find pretty much the exact same spot, and that is going to be an early 0-2 hole here for Josh Dart. And here's the 0-2. Instead, he's able to rip that one out to center. Center fielder is able to make a nice play on that one. That's Bo Barbin for the Thunder, as that is now going to be 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th for the Dons.
Yeah, Barbin got a little lucky out there. His first 2 steps were in, and they teach you always make your first step back. But he was able to recover and get back, and even with the ball carrying and the wind blowing deep, he was able to recover and make the play there.
Yeah, a little bit dangerous there, but that now brings up Carson Chappell, who sends that one out to right field. He's getting a beat on it, and that is going to be a nice play there by Landon Levine to go ahead and end the inning for the Thunder as they take him down 1-2-3 in this particular inning, and that is going to keep us at a score of 7-1. The Desert Hills Thunder over the Spanish Fork Dons as we take it over to the top of the 6th. Thank you so much for being with us here on Spanish Fork 17, and we will be right back.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
And we are back here in the top of the 5th inning now. The Desert Hills Thunder leading our Spanish Fork Dons 7-1 here at Ricehurst Field at Dixie State University. And Mason Olson will again be back out there on the mound as he tries to calm the storm a little and help the Dons get back into this game.
Absolutely, let's hope so. Hopefully Mason Olson is able to kind of silence the Thunder a little bit, as you will here in the the top of the inning here.
And a leadoff ball outside to the leadoff hitter of this inning. And a strike to the junior catcher, Mason Krieger, bringing the count to 1-1. Last inning, all 9 hitters coming to the plate for the Thunder as Krieger skies that one high up into the air. The second baseman, Dylan Hall, making a nice play on that one for the first out of the inning here.
Yeah, nice job by Hall, and also a nice job there by Olson to get them to go after a pitch that was a little high and able to get him to pop it up there out to second base. So nice leadoff out there for the Dons. Definitely what they needed here.
And that will bring up the 8 hitter, the designated hitter, Jackson Reber, who fouls that one off to the right side, bringing the count to 0-1.
Reber grounded out to third base in the second and got a single in the fourth and was part of that big rally there as he was able to score as well.
And he lines that one out to left, and Chappell will field that one on one hop, and that will be a one-out single here for Reber, his second consecutive inning with a hit.
Yeah, Reber must be seeing the ball really well out of Mason Olson's hand, as that's going to be the second straight hit that he's had here off of Olson. And so nice job there by Reber, and we'll see what happens here with a runner now on first.
And the hitter at the plate now is the sophomore right fielder, Landon Levine, who will take that pitch for strike one. Levine also having a nice day with 2 hits and 2 plate appearances. And make it 3 hits and 3 plate appearances as the throw gets quite wild and will allow both runners to advance. Jackson Reber moving over to third on the play, and looked like he was going to get there safely, but with the throw going wild, Levine also able to move over to second.
Absolutely, yeah. Nice job there, though, by Mason Olson to back that one up. If he's not there and that gets away, that's probably going to be scoring a run. So a nice fundamental play there by the pitcher to make sure that he was backing that play up.
And with 1 out now, there are runners on second and third for the leadoff hitter, Bo Barbin, who lays down a bunt. And again, there will be a play at the plate, and he is out for the second out of the inning. A safety squeeze failure there.
Yeah, that one definitely worked in the Dons' favor this time, as they were able to get it quickly on over to home plate and able to gun him down. So avoiding the run and getting it out there.
Yeah, 2 outs now in the inning. Runners on the corner now as Jackson Reber is retired. Levine moving over to third on the play. And the batter at the plate now will be the senior shortstop, Trey Allred. And a ball past the second baseman, Dylan Hall, will allow another run to come in to score. Cy able to track that ball in, and 2 runs will actually be able to come in to score on that play, as the runner Barbin was stealing on the pitch, kind of moving Hall out of position, or it would have been a relatively routine ground ball to end the inning.
Yeah, unfortunate there, because Hall was doing his job, heading on over to kind of keep him close there, and instead it shoots it right past him on the other side. And man, just a kind of a unfortunate play there for the Dons. But hey, again, there's 2 outs here, so they really just need Olson to get just 1 more, and they can once again kind of get out of this jam.
And that is strike 1 to the sophomore pitcher, Drew Thorpe. 2 runs across here in the top of the 5th inning. And the fastball catches the outside corner, bringing the count to 0-2.
Definitely what they needed here from Olson, just to kind of settle things down and just get strikes in there. Nice 0-2 start here in this at-bat.
And the pitch outside brings the count to 1-2 now on Thorpe. The Dons a strike away from getting out of this inning. Trey Allred over there on second base. And a ground ball over to Hall at second. He will flip it over to Lee for the third out of the inning. And that will end the top of the fifth, but not before 2 more runs come across for the Thunder on 3 base hits, 1 runner left on base. And as we head now to the bottom of the 5th inning, it is 9-1 Thunder over the Dons. And we would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's game, the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, Sporting Goods for all seasons, and 2 Jacks Pizza. Dons with a little bit of a deficit here, but a reminder that you can tune in to youtube.com/SpanishFork17. Tell your friends and family to tune in as the Dons look to avoid elimination for a 4th straight game and advance here in this 4A state tournament.
Yeah, I can't emphasize how proud I am of this Dons team. They've been able to come back pretty well in this particular playoffs. Again, they lost the first game of this playoffs, so to even be in this game is pretty impressive. So get your friends on watching this game, because you don't want to miss this potential comeback here for the Dons, as they could get the bats going here and potentially get themselves back in this game against the Thunder.
Yeah, if there's anything we've seen is that the Dons are very capable of putting up a big number really quickly. And they still have 3 innings to do it. There's still plenty of time, down 9-1 here, and the top of the lineup coming up shortly. Riley Hess, the 9-hitter, will lead off this inning, a very capable hitter out of the 9-hole, and then Tay Newman, Andrew Pintar, and Josh Cowden will be coming to the plate. So a lot of big bats coming up for the Dons.
Absolutely. You got the Bloop King up there right now,
as he takes strike 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Dons scoring their 1 run back in the bottom of the 1st inning, as he lays down a bunt, and it will drop in, and he will be safe. The speedy Hess barely able to beat that out, and a leadoff base runner here for the Dons in the bottom of the 5th.
And once again, he's still the Bloop King, as that particular bunt is a bit of a bloop, and it somehow falls to the infield grass there right in front of the pitcher. And thankfully he's got a good set of wheels on him as he gets himself on over the first base, and that is going to be exactly what the Dons needed, as their leadoff hitter here in the inning is able to get on.
Yeah, very close play over at first. Looked like it was essentially a tie, as that goes to the runner, and Hess did a great job of beating that out. Not necessarily a great bunt, but it found the right spot as he popped it up. It looked like Thorpe was going to be able to come in and maybe make that play, but once it dropped, it gave Hess enough time, and he was able to beat out that throw at first.
Gotta love it. 2 for 2 there in the 9-hole. Riley Hess definitely doing his part to keep the Dons in this game.
And a fly ball to center on the first pitch there off the bat of Newman. And the catch is made by the center fielder Barvin for the first out of the bottom of the 5th.
Yep, a nice play out there by Barvin. That one hit pretty high up in the sky, but also another one of those routine plays, but able to get that one in. That's going to be the first out there of the inning.
And the junior shortstop Andrew Pintar at the plate now. Pintar is over 1 on the day. He did have a sac bunt back in the 1st inning as well. As that pitch is strike 1, just catching the inside corner, as Pintar again leaning back to get out of the way, and the ball catching the plate for a strike.
Yeah, that inside part of the plate has been getting calls, and so as a hitter, you got to be mindful of that.
And that is a ball outside, bringing the count even at 1-1. Yes, a very big strike zone from this umpire today, giving a few inches on either side of the plate, it seems.
As a batter, you got to be able to adjust for that and protect a bit.
Pitch a little up there, bringing the count to 2-1 on Pintar. These Dons hitters really in need of base runners at a premium, down 9-1 here in the 5th, and working the pitcher is the key to doing that.
Absolutely.
as that ball is driven out into the left center field gap, and that ball will be gone. That is a home run off the bat of Andrew Pintar, and 2 runs will come in to score for the Dons, and just like that, the Dons bats have come alive.
Woo-hoo, just like that. Wow. That ball just absolutely carried. Off the bat, I thought that was going to be a nice gapper, potentially a double, but instead, Andrew Pintar absolutely crushes that one, and it goes over the fence, and that is exactly what the Dons need here. A little bit of life, a little bit of a spark for them.
And the first homer of the year off the bat of Pintar, the junior shortstop, and a big boost for this Dons team, who has now cut the gap from 9-1 to 9-3.
There you go. There you go. Could be the start of something here, and it definitely gets them going off of Drew Thorpe, who, again, as we've been saying throughout the broadcast, a phenomenal pitcher. So to be able to get a 2 spot here in this inning off of that 2-run home run, wonderful.
And we are showing you the wall where the ball just went over, a very tall wall. That's a little bit deceiving based off the angle that we're showing you there, but a good 15 to 20 feet up there, and a shot out into the left center field gap off the bat of Pintar as Josh Cowden takes ball 1 low.
Yeah, to be able to get it over that fence, you have to absolutely rock it, which is exactly what Pintar did.
And the breaking ball catches the outside corner for strike 1 to Cowden. Cowden also having a nice day at the plate today.
Yeah, getting that walk in the first inning and then getting a double in the third.
And he hits a ground ball up the middle over to the shortstop, and it is bobbled, and Josh Cowden will be able to reach safely, and the momentum is beginning to shift a little bit in this game as the Dons dugout is getting a little louder and starting to show some belief.
Oh, love that. Love seeing the boys getting into this game after that home run by Pintar, and now you got the error there by the shortstop and getting Cowden on. Yeah, just love seeing the Dons getting back into this thing, and you definitely can sense the energy over there.
And the junior right fielder Cy Nielsen at the plate now, as a breaking ball falls in there for strike 1.
Nielsen, the one that hit the RBI double early in this game,
as he absolutely mashes one out to left, and it will go foul. And again, Nielsen, who has been the king of the long foul ball during this playoffs, that is the 4th time over the 5 games that we have been here that he has absolutely mashed one foul down that line.
It breaks my heart, folks. It breaks my heart. Cy has been on these pitches, and they've been absolutely murdered. But unfortunately, all of them have been slice and foul for him. He just needs to find one of these to be able to stay just inside that foul pole, and he'd be having some home runs.
And he fouls off that pitch to stay alive as the count remains at 0-2. Yeah, he's had a lot of really good at-bats during this playoffs, and you're just waiting for him to pick up that gapper. As he drives that one out to left field as well, and it is deep and going back, and that ball is gone. See you later, a 2-run homer off the bat of Cy Nielsen, and these Dons are in business here in the bottom of the 5th.
There it is. This is the rally that they have been waiting for, as Cy Nielsen finally is able to mash one and keep it fair. That one also absolutely juiced, and you see the Dons are going absolutely nuts. All sorts of craziness going on over there as the team files on over back to the dugout. But wow, what an absolute blast by Cy Nielsen, and they've cut the deficit here now down to 9-5.
Yeah, bunt single started it off from Hess, a 2-run homer from Pintar, and then the error over by the shortstop Trey Allred allowed Cowden to release and to reach, and then Nielsen with the 2-run homer there as well, as 4 runs already across here in the bottom of the 5th, as the deficit has been cut from 9-1 to 9-5 now, as the senior first baseman Dylan Lee steps up to the plate and fouls off that first pitch. And he swings and rips that through the right side, and a nice play by the shortstop there, as he is able to keep his foot on the bag, and a beautiful play by Trey Allred for the 2nd out of the inning here.
Yeah, that's gonna be one that's gonna be a web jam over there. That was a nice play over there by Allred to be able to lay out, get there, and still have enough time to throw it on over to first. So kind of a little bit of an ouchie there for the Dons as they had built up some momentum, but hey, they still got another out here in this inning.
Yeah, 4 runs already across. A nice play by Allred to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit there, as that ball is slammed foul over into the bleachers off the bat of Dylan Hall. Dylan Hall 0 for 2 on the day, grounder to third, strikeout in the 4th inning.
I'll see what he can do here with appearance number 3 at the plate.
And a pitch up there, bringing the count to 1-1. The Dons have brought the power so far in this inning.
Oh, man, it's been an absolute joy to see. I hope that you guys are tuning in on YouTube, because that's some of the best power we've seen all year.
As that pitch is just in there on the inside corner low to bring the count to 1-2 on Hall.
And now with that 1-2 count, Hall's got to be protecting the plate, just doing anything he can to get on base to keep this rally going.
And he swings through that one for strike 3, and that will end the inning here in the 5th. But not before 4 runs score on 2 two-run homers off the bat of Andrew Pintar and Cy Nielsen. And we'll be back in a minute for the 6th here on SF-17.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
4 runs.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. It has been a crazy last inning there, as 2 runs scored for the Desert Hills Thunder, but 4 runs scored for the Spanish Fork Dons off of 2 absolute blasts by Andrew Pintar, and the other one there by Cy Nielsen, as the Dons were able to really cut into the deficit there, as now Mason Olson is back on the mound for the Dons. And that one's going to be up and outside there to, let's see, here's going to be Bronson Andrus for the Thunder. That one's going to be ripped down the third base line. That's going to be foul, as that evens up the count against Andrus.
Andrus is 0 for 2 on the day with the walk. Grounder to third, line out to third.
Absolutely. This could potentially be a bit of a momentum shift here in this game for the Dons with those 4 loud, very loud runs. And hopefully we'll see if Olson's able to kind of lock it down, as that one's going to be outside, and that takes the count to 2-1 against Andrus.
Yeah, this top of the inning is a big statement inning for the Dons, as they really need a quick 1-2-3 as they were finally able to gain some momentum in this game.
That one's also going to be outside, and Andrus has worked himself into a nice hitter's count here at 3-1.
Yeah, last thing you want to do as Olson here is a leadoff walk, as that could lead to a potential big inning.
And unfortunately, that's exactly what happens, is the leadoff hitter here in the inning, Bronson Andrus, gets the walk, and he will mosey on over to first, and that is going to bring up Sam Roten, the left fielder here for the Thunder, to face the lefty Mason Olson.
Yeah, Desert Hills has been able to put runs up steadily in this game after a scoreless top of the first, 1 run in the second, 1 run in the third, the big 4th inning with 5, and then 2 more in the 5th.
As that one is grooved on in there for strike 1. A nice pitch there by Mason Olson to Sam Roten.
Sam Roten has been able to reach base in all 3 of his plate appearances today.
And he swings through that one. Another beautiful pitch by Olson, as Roten is now down 0-2 in this particular at-bat.
Yeah, a single back in the 2nd inning, scoring a run, a single in the 3rd, and reaching on the error in the 4th.
Again, we've got Andrus over there at first, and it is an 0-2 count here to Sam Roten. We are in the top of the 6th here with Mason Olson on the mound, and here comes that 0-2 pitch. That's going to be sent on over to second. Dylan Hall makes a nice play, gets the one at second, and gets the one over at first, and they turn the key double play here as they get 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. That is exactly what Olson wanted on that particular play.
Yeah, absolutely a huge play by the defense. Great job by Hall and Pintar teaming up with the quick turnaround there, and they were able to turn that double play and get a quick 2 outs here in the top of the sixth.
Absolutely, and now that brings up Brigham Gardner. See, does a little dance and takes that one inside for ball.
Yeah, if there's one way to get out of a leadoff walk, it's by getting that ground ball double play immediately afterwards.
And that one is going to be taken for ball two, a 2-0 count here to Brigham Gardner. That one is going to be outside, and there's going to be 3 straight balls there to Brigham Gardner after the beautiful double play. Olson now kind of dug himself in a little hole here with that 3-0 count. But he's going to find the strike zone on that one, and it is now a 3-1 count.
Yeah, Olson struggling a little bit to throw strikes here, but did groove that one right down the middle there.
And that one is also going to be taken for ball 4, and that's going to be the second free pass of this particular inning for Olson as Gardner takes his place over there at first base.
Yeah, a little bit of a control issue here for Mason in the 6th inning. Obviously no damage done because of a beautiful play by Dylan Hall over at second base as they're able to turn the double play. But now with 2 outs, the Dons need to be careful to avoid any potential damage here.
Yeah, it feels like the momentum is kind of swung in their favor, and they definitely need to kind of keep that there, keep it with them, and so they definitely want to get this out here as quickly as possible, as Mason Krieger is the one that is stepping up to the plate for the Thunder, the junior catcher for them. That one is going to be nibbling the outside corner for strike 1.
And we have a pinch runner on first base for the junior first baseman Gardner, who just worked a walk. It will be the junior Blake Milne taking over the running duties over at first.
That is going to be another beautiful pitch as that is hacked right on through, and that is an 0-2 count now to Mason Krieger. Olson doing a nice job of pulling the string there, and he is now just a strike away from getting out of this one. Krieger does a nice job of spoiling that particular pitch, and he's able to stay alive in this at-bat. Okay, we've got that runner on first. There are 2 outs, though, here in the top of the 6th, and Mason Olson is just a strike away here from getting out of this one and sending it on over to the bottom half of the inning. And that's going to be roped on over to third, and Tay Newman is unable to handle that particular hot shot as that goes out into the outfield. Chappell gets that in, and that is going to be a single there for Mason Krieger, and it is also going to advance the runner over to third.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely ripped down the third base line. A very tough play for Tay Newman, unable to come up with the high hop as that gets out into left field, and Brigham Gardner able to move over to third. Mason Krieger moving over to first, and runners on the corner now with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, definitely an absolute shot over there. Newman didn't have too much of a chance with the hop that happened over there at third, and so runners on the corners, as you were saying there, Elliot. Now that brings up Jackson Reber, the designated hitter for the Thunder, who has had himself quite the game, and particularly has seen the ball pretty well out of Mason Olson's hands. That one's going to be popped up a mile into the sky, and it looks like Newman's got a beat on it, and that is going to end the inning, as that was a nice pop-up there to end the inning. A good clean inning there for Mason Olson as they were able to turn the double play and able to get that pop-up. And so heading on over into the bottom of the 6th, the score is still 9-5 Desert Hills Thunder over the Spanish Fork Dons. Gives us an opportunity to go ahead and thank our wonderful sponsors, the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, and Two Jacks Pizza.
Well, as we head now to the bottom of the 6th, the Dons were able to get their second scoreless inning defensively and really help keep that momentum that they were able to build back in the 5th inning, putting up 4 runs at the bottom of the 5th, getting that scoreless top of the 6th to kind of build up for this potential rally here in these final 2 innings.
Absolutely. That was exactly what they needed from Mason Olson and from the defense to be able to just put up a nice 0 on the board and be able to keep the momentum going. So they're able to cut the deficit down to 4, and now they've got an opportunity to continue to cut into that deficit even further here in the bottom of the 6th with a couple of batters here coming up. You got Josh Dart, Carson Chappell and Riley Hess coming up. So the bottom of the order. But again, as we've been talking about in previous broadcasts, though, the Dons have a pretty good bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, no real weak spot in this lineup, and they'll need the bottom line of the lineup to come through here as the Dons try to rally from this 9-5 deficit.
They're going to need all the base runners they can get, and that's going to start with Josh Dart, the designated hitter for the Dons. Dart grounded out to the third baseman there in the second, and he flew out to center field in his last at bat in the fourth. This is now his third plate appearance. And he takes that one inside for strike one.
Yeah, Dart unable to get a hit so far today, but a really quality hitter, a 300 hitter coming into today's game, and a big opportunity for him here to kind of set the table here in this bottom of the sixth inning.
Yeah, he holds up on that outside pitch, gives it a check swing, and that's going to even the count to 1-1. He's going to rip that one. It's going to head on over to foul territory, but the third baseman is under it. He falls to the ground, but he does come up with the play there, as that is going to be the first out of the inning off the bat of Josh Dart.
Yeah, that sun is bright out there, and these players are really having a hard time battling that sun, but a nice play over there by Bronson Andrus at third, being able to get over in foul territory and make that play.
And it's definitely not an easy one, which is why he ended up going to the ground with the sun blazing right there. But good play by Andrus as now Chappell digs in for the Dons. And that one is going to be inside there for ball one.
Pretty rare to see a ball call on that inside. Really must have gotten in close to him there, because anything close to the plate there has been called a strike today.
That one is going to paint the outside corner, working both corners in this particular bat, as that's going to even the count to 1-1. Chappell struck out in his first at bat and flew out to right in his second at bat, as he's going to take a nice big cut at that one, but he misses, and that's going to now be a 1-2 count to Carson Chappell. And he is going to take that one, and you heard some jeering there as that one maybe potentially could have been called a strike, but Chappell takes that one for a ball, and it's now 2-2. Instead, he rips it, and that is going to be out in the left field, and Carson Chappell is going to be on with a single there. A nice piece of hitting, able to find that one, and that is going to be a single for Carson Chappell, and that's going to give us a base runner here in the bottom of the sixth for the Spanish Fork Dons.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there with 2 strikes, and Chappell shortened up his approach, was able to line that ball out to left field and pick up his first hit of today's game.
So there may be one out in the inning, but there's also a runner on first, and that brings up Riley Hess, the number 9 hitter, who swings through that particular pitch, and that's going to be an 0-1 count. Riley Hess has 2 singles on the game, both of them little bloopers, one out to the outfield and one just there in the infield grass on a bunt, as that's going to be painting the outside corner, and Hess is in a 0-2 hole here.
Yeah, great day at the plate by Hess, 2 for 2. Looking to help extend this rally here in the sixth.
Yeah, see what he does here on this 0-2 count. He gets a little piece of that one, and it's going to be sent behind the backstop as he stays alive here in this particular at-bat. The dangerous number 9 hitter for the Dons up with Carson Chappell over there at first base, and one out here in the bottom of the sixth. He's going to take that one upstairs, and that's now going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes to Riley Hess.
Hess, a 328 hitter, coming into today's game with 19 hits and 11 RBIs on the year.
Ain't no slouch there in the number 9 hole. And he's going to get ringed up on that one on the outside corner, as that is going to be another strikeout for the ace, Drew Thorpe of the Thunder, and is now 2 outs in the inning for the Dons.
Yeah, 7th strikeout of the day by Thorpe, really doing a good job of getting ahead of batters early and then being able to finish them off with that tough breaking stuff.
Brings up the leadoff hitter, Tay Newman, for the Dons. And that one is going to be outside, and they are going to say that is a ball. So that is a 1-0 count to Tay Newman. Again, we've got Carson Chappell over there at first base, and Newman an opportunity to potentially keep this going here, as that one is going to be grooved on right on in there for strike 1, evening the count.
Newman singled back in the first and came around to score the first run of the game. 1 for 3 on the day.
Swings through that one. Nice big old cut there from Newman, but he misses, and that's now going to take the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes that 1-2 pitch. We'll see what Newman's able to do with it. That's going to be outside, and that's going to be a great play there by Krieger to be able to keep that one from going behind the backstop, as that evens the count 2-2.
Yeah, Krieger's been really impressive behind the plate today. No balls have gotten away from him with runners on base, and so no one has been able to move up freely.
Newman gets a piece of that one, sends it on over to third base, and that is a nice play over there. Nice dig there by the first baseman over there to make sure to get that out over at first base as Newman grounds out, and that's going to be the end of the inning after Carson Chapel gets the single. They are unable to get him across as the score stays 9-5. The Thunder over the Dons as we head on over to the 7th inning of this game. Thank you for being with us here on Spanish Fork 17, and we will be right back.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
And welcome back here on SF-17 here in the 7th inning now as our Dons trail 9-5 against the Desert Hills Thunder. It has been a back and forth affair with the Dons rallying to make it a little bit closer with 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th, as the hitter up now for the Thunder is the sophomore number 5, Landon Levine, and he hits a high fly ball. Dylan Lee calls it over there for the first out of the inning here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, nice play there by the first baseman, Dylan Lee, able to range over to that one. Those infield pop-ups are always kind of tricky. You kind of assume that they're going to be fairly easy plays, but kind of depending on the angle and different things like that, it can be kind of tricky. So, nice play there by the first baseman.
And that will bring up the junior center fielder, Bo Barbin, who takes strike 1 there. Yeah, anything up in the air today has been quite an adventure for both teams, as that ball is fouled back, bringing the count to 0-2 now, as the wind is really blowing things all over the place. There's been a few misplayed balls and just making life difficult for the fielders out there.
Oh, look out.
He almost got him on the head there. He was able to barely duck out of the way of that one, fortunately bringing the count to 1-2. And a ground ball over to first to Dylan Lee, and he will take it himself for a nice unassisted play there for the second out of the inning. And Lee with back-to-back plays here in the top of the 7th.
Man, Lee's doing all the work over there. A nice catch there for the infield fly, and then with that one, a nice little play over there as well. So there's 2 quick outs there for the Dons.
And with 2 outs now in the top of the 7th, it will be the senior shortstop Trey Allred as he takes strike 1 there. Mason Olson working quickly here in the 7th with 2 quick outs already, as that ball is fouled back, and a Thunder hitter is again quickly in a 0-2 hole.
There we go. Olson doing his job to be able to stay in front of these batters, kind of stay ahead of schedule, and now he's got his whole arsenal of pitches at his disposal. Can maybe get him to chase something.
And the pitch outside for ball 1. Only 8 pitches so far this inning for Mason Olson, in what has been a very efficient and productive inning so far for the Dons in the top of the 7th.
Absolutely doing his job.
And a swing and a miss for a strikeout, the first strikeout that Mason Olson has recorded today, and a very nice 1-2-3 inning. 0 runs on 0 hits, 0 runners left on base, and as we head now to the bottom of the 7th, the Dons will get their last chance to put up 4 runs and keep their state title hopes alive.
That's going to be up to the big boys. Again, Pintar coming up here, Cy Nielsen coming up in this particular half inning. So if they're going to do it, it's going to be these boys right here.
And as we head now to the bottom of the 7th, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's game, the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, Sporting Goods for all seasons, and Two Jacks Pizza. And as Drew Thorpe steps back on the mound, looking to get 3 more outs to extend the Desert Hills Thunder run, he will have to deal with the big bats of Pintar, Cowden, Nielsen, Lee, and so on and so forth.
And so on and so forth. It is going to be Pintar that leads things off here. He's one of the ones that hit a massive 2-run homer in that big rally there in the 5th, and so obviously the Dons are hoping for similar results here from Pintar and from the rest of the meat, the heart of this order here for the Dons.
And it is 9-5 like we mentioned, and the Dons will need to have at least 4 runs come across here in the bottom of the 7th as they attempt to avoid elimination for the 4th consecutive game, losing in the opener 11-1 to Pineview, bouncing back nicely and beating Tooele 12-2 on Saturday afternoon, and then yesterday fighting off elimination twice, beating the Skyview Bobcats 11-0 in the first game yesterday, and then beating Orem 10-7 in the afternoon game yesterday. And Pintar takes ball 1 outside to lead off this bottom of the 7th.
There we go, getting that first, kind of seeing that first one out of Thorpe's hands. We'll see what Pintar can do on the 1-0 count.
And the breaking ball drops in there for strike 1, bringing the count even at 1-1.
Pintar's going to be a key back here. If he can get on base, that's really going to set the tone nicely for the Dons.
And he pitched low and in the dirt, not even close. A nice take there by Pintar, bringing the count to 2-1 now. With the base runners at a premium here in the bottom of the 7th, you expect these Dons hitters to be very patient and really wait for their pitch. As that pitch is grounded over to third, and a nice play over there by Bronson Andrus for the big first out of the inning for the Thunder here in the bottom of the 7th.
Definitely a loud out there for Pintar. He ropes that one over to third, but the hot corner was ready. Andrus was definitely ready for that one and sends it on over to first, and that is a big out here in the bottom of the 7th to get Pintar out.
And the batter now will be the senior catcher, Josh Cowden, who has been the offensive star for them this postseason, and a quick single up the middle on the first pitch of the at-bat, just what the Dons needed to get a potential rally going.
Cowden doing his thing, which is exactly what the Dons need. Able to just do what he can, gets a nice pitch that he likes and just sends it straight up the alleyway there in center. So gets that runner on, gets some base runners, and now you got Cy Nielsen up.
Yeah, Cy Nielsen with a massive home run his last time up over the left center field wall as he swings and fouls that first pitch back.
Yeah, an absolute bomb after bombing one foul. Way, not terribly foul, but like definitely crushed it. And so it was nice to finally see Cy Nielsen get one that he crushes and able to keep it fair. So let's see what he's able to do here now. Help out the Dons.
And the pitch outside for ball 1 will bring the count even on Nielsen. Nielsen 2 for 3 on the day. Also had an RBI double back in the first inning and the 2-run homer in the 5th. So a very productive day at the plate for the cleanup hitter for the Dons.
Yeah, Nielsen, a one-man wrecking crew so far.
As he waits back on it and hits a single through the left side, and that will be back-to-back hits off the bats of Cowden and Nielsen, and we have a little bit of a one-out rally here for the Dons in the bottom of the 7th.
Do you believe in magic, folks? Because this is how the magic happens. You just got to get runners on base. So Nielsen does his jobs, finds the gap in between short and third, and there's now runners on first and second. Still got some big RBI producers here coming up in Dylan Lee and Dylan Hall. So nice job here by the Dons here in the bottom of the 7th.
Dylan Lee, the senior first baseman, at the plate now for the Dons, as he takes the pitch on the outside corner, bringing the count to 0-1. Lee 0 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts, so you could say he's due.
He is definitely due, 0 for 3. He's definitely a good enough hitter that we'd like to see this one as a 1 for 4 game.
Ooh, and a A little bit of a bad swing on a outside pitch there, bringing the count to 0-2 now on Lee.
Yeah, Lee definitely fooled on that one, way out in front, and as you can see, really wasn't able to really get a good hack on that one. So now, with this 0-2 count, really needs to protect the plate, make sure that he doesn't necessarily swing at anything bad, but it's got to make contact on anything close.
And a single through the right side on a 0-2 pitch, and the bases are now loaded with only one out here in the bottom of the 7th. A great approach by Lee. Really surprised that Thorpe threw him anything that he could hit there on that 0-2 pitch, expecting to get him to try to chase on something on the outside, but threw him a pitch he could hit, and he singles through the right side to load the bases.
I'm absolutely shocked. I expected something in the dirt with the previous swing kind of looking kind of ugly there, but man, I thought for sure that Thorpe was going to give him something just dirty, and instead he gives him something kind of over the plate, and Lee does a good job to stay disciplined, keeps his hands through it, and shoots it the other way. And now we've potentially got a real ball game on our hands here with the bases loaded for the Dons.
And we will have a pinch runner on first base. It looks like Morley Bennett will be coming into the game to run for Dylan Lee over at first, and the bases are loaded as Dylan Hall steps to the plate. And one out.
And we'll see what Dylan Hall can do here. He did strike out in his last 2 at-bats.
And he rips one to center field, and the center fielder is moving back. It is over his head and off of the wall. That will be a double for the Dons, and 2 runs will come in to score. It is 9-7 now, and the tying run is on second base with only 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
The magic is happening, folks. Wow, what an absolute blast by Dylan Hall. Absolutely mashes it out to the deepest part of the ballpark, and that's going to be off the wall, and that's going to be a 2-run RBI double there for Hall. Absolutely mashes it, and man, whew, the Dons are right back in this thing, Elliot.
Yeah, Cowden and Nielsen both coming around to score on that play. The pinch runner, Bennett, moving over to third. Hall easily getting into second on the play with the throw coming home, and there is a tense meeting on the mound now for these Thunder infielders.
Yeah, finally the wheels are kind of coming off here for the ace, Drew Thorpe. He had otherwise had a pretty good game, other than the 2 home runs given up in the 5th. He'd really kind of been mowing through the Dons hitters, but man, kind of a little bit of a dangerous spot here as he is giving up 2 runs here, and they're still threatening here with only 1 out. So definitely need to kind of talk things over, figure things out, and man, this is now really, as I've said, an absolute ball game. I hope that you guys are tuning in on YouTube, getting everyone to watch this one, because man, this is going to be an exciting one to the end, as they still got an opportunity here to potentially take this ball game.
Yeah, 2 runs already in here in the bottom of the 7th for the Dons, cutting the deficit from 9-7. Runners on second and third. Both Lee and Hall coming up to their plate appearances, 0 for 3 on the day and getting big hits, a single and a double. So talk about some clutch hitting, and Dart also 0 for 3 on the day here, and an opportunity to drive in 2 and tie up this game with 1 out here in the 7th. As he swings and drives that 1 out to right, and it is caught by the right fielder, and a runner will tag and score, but there are 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 7th off the line drive off the bat of Josh Dart. Just unfortunately hit right at Landon Levine out there in right field.
That is unfortunate. Thankfully, though, they were able to get the runner from third to score on the sac fly, and so though it wasn't out, it was at least as productive as an out as you can get, being able to score that run. So now there may be 2 outs, but this game is far from over, with it only being a 1-run lead for the Thunder.
Yeah, 9-8 now, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and the senior left fielder Carson Chappell at the plate. And a first pitch strike catches the outside corner, bringing the count to 0-1. The runner on second, Dylan Hall, unable to tag up on that fly ball to right, but a base hit likely scoring him and tying this game off the bat of Chappell.
And Chappell's definitely one that is capable of it. He did have a single in his last at bat and is a big RBI producer from the 8 hole.
And a pitch low and outside to Chappell brings the count even at 1-1. Chappell 1 for 3 on the day, with a single coming back in the 6th, just last inning.
And they certainly would love for him to get another single here, or at least something that can be able to score the run.
And he pops it up out to left center field, and the left center fielder has a beat on it, and he makes the play, and that will end the game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Dons falling just short here in a tremendous rally in the bottom of the 7th inning, and we will be back in a moment to break down this one. A tough 9-8 loss for the Dons here at Bruce Hurst Field.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Come to Dickerson Automotive for all your car repair and maintenance needs. Now is a great time to make sure your car is ready for these cold winter months. We take the time to get to know you and your car to give you peace of mind. Dickerson Automotive, located way north on Main and Spanish Fork.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Wild Mustangs. They're supposed to be one of the most gentle creatures in nature.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these. That's why more people save money by combining their home and auto with State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
And welcome back here on SF-17 as our Spanish Fork Dons played a thriller against the Desert Hills Thunder, falling 9-8 in this elimination game here on SF-17. But what an effort and what a rally by the Dons here today.
Yeah, they did. They definitely made this game exciting, getting the two two-run home runs there in the 5th and then being able to put up 3 in that last inning. They were just so close. They had a runner on second but couldn't quite get him across. But man, definitely one of the more exciting games that we've been a part of here.
And we'd like to congratulate Coach Casey Nelson and everyone on this Don staff, especially the seniors who played a big role on this team, as they will be sorely missed here. And another great season by the Dons, winning 3 consecutive elimination games before falling today. And we thank all of you so much for tuning into our broadcast. A 9-8 loss for the Dons here on SF-17, but a very quality effort, and we thank everyone on our crew, from Andrew LaRose, I'm Elliot Charles, and for everyone on our fantastic Spanish Fork crew. It's been another great year of Spanish Fork Dons baseball, and we'll see you next year.